Most men think they understand women until one of them destroys their ego, their identity, and even their desire to fall in love again. And it always starts at the same point. You think women want love, affection, little details, flowers, and a soft version of you desperately trying to please them. No, that is the most dangerous lie in the male mind. Schopenhauer said it centuries ago. The man idealizes, the woman selects. And that one sentence destroys fantasies because it forces you to accept that you may love from emotion, but she chooses from her nature. And when you do not understand that nature, you become the type of man women do not respect, do not desire, and do not even remember. But listen carefully, this is not their fault. It is your responsibility to understand the game. You would not walk into a jungle without learning how to survive. So why do you dive into emotional life without understanding female biology? What I'm going to tell you today is not pretty, not romantic, not what movies, your mother, or society taught you, but it is what will save you from suffering over women who are not trying to hurt you. The problem is simply that you do not know how to stay standing. Today, I'm going to show you what they really want, what they never say, what they show through action, what Schopenhauer saw before anyone else, and what 98% of men still ignore. Get ready, because after this, you will never look at a woman the same way again. And before we continue, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you do not miss my videos about what women say and what they actually desire. This is where the pain begins for many men. Women say one thing but choose another, and you get angry, confused, frustrated. But the mistake is yours. You took her words as if they were a contract. I warned you, men idealize, women select. A woman can tell you she wants a sweet, attentive, romantic man who is always available. And you, innocent, go and become exactly that, an emotional soldier ready to serve. But do you know what happens next? She gets bored, she disconnects, she stops respecting you, and she does not even know why. Schopenhauer explained it like this: a woman is governed by a deeper will than her own intellect. In simple terms, her decisions do not come from what she says, but from what she feels. And what she feels is guided by instinct, not by speeches. Do you want a real, brutal example? She tells you she wants a man who treats her well, but she goes with the guy who ignores her. Not because she likes mistreatment, that is what a hurt man believes, but because that man has something you do not have: center. That man does not live dependent on her. He does not melt over every message. He does not build his life around her attention. And that is what activates female desire. Because a woman does not want to emotionally carry a man. She does not want to feel that you depend on her. She wants to feel that you govern yourself. Another example, a man says, I gave her everything and she left me. Wrong. You gave her everything except the one thing that actually attracts her: emotional firmness. Schopenhauer was not talking about seduction, he was talking about will. And for women, your will, your inner strength, your stability, your self-control, all of that is worth more than your intelligence, your looks, or your words. Here is where the myth breaks. Women are not looking for the best man, they look for the most emotionally solid man in their environment. He can be good, kind, respectful, yes, but if he has no center, they do not choose him. And if you still believe they only need love, you will keep losing women because you ignore what they truly desire. Female instinct is not something to debate, it is something you understand. Schopenhauer observed a female nature that remains intact today. He said, the woman is the will of the species, while the man is the illusion of the individual. Brutal translation. Women feel through the instinct of continuity. You love through the fantasy you built. And when a man does not understand this, he surrenders, he lowers himself, he kneels emotionally. And that is exactly where a woman stops feeling attraction. Let me give you a picture. Imagine a woman standing in front of two men. One is sweet, attentive, available, ready to make her happy. The other is focused on his life, his mission, his growth. He is not rude, he is not aggressive, he simply does not revolve around her. Do you know which one she chooses most of the time? The second one. Why? Because her instinct recognizes stability. It recognizes firmness. It recognizes value, not imposed value, but lived value. A woman wants the man who can walk forward without needing her approval. Do you want a real example? A man loses a woman and spends 3 months crying, begging, sending long messages, trying to convince her with words. That man becomes invisible. She no longer sees him as a possible partner. Why? Because he lost his center, because emotion dominated him, because her will became stronger than his. Now look at the other example. A man also loses a woman, but he continues with his life. He keeps training, keeps growing, keeps focusing. Not to prove anything, but because that is simply how he lives. That man, without even trying, reactivates female interest, both from the woman he lost and from others. Because a woman feels attraction toward the man who stays standing when everything goes wrong. Female selection is not logical, not moral, not fair. It is natural. Schopenhauer saw it without filters, and that is why he shocked so many people. A woman does not choose the nicest man, she chooses the most stable one. And stability means self-control, purpose, mental strength, emotional independence, firm boundaries. Do you want to know why she left you? Because you did not understand this in time. Emotional firmness. That is the real hidden desire. Society sold you the worst lie. Be a good man and she will love you. No. A good man without emotional strength is a teddy bear, not a partner. A woman wants to feel she is beside a man who does not break when life applies pressure, who does not fall apart over a message left unread, who does not collapse from a mood swing, who does not need constant validation. Emotional firmness is attractive because it creates a sense of security, and security is a biological trigger of female desire. Practical example. Two men are seeing the same woman at different times. One texts her every 5 minutes, wants constant reassurance that she is okay, worries about every silence, and interprets every pause as rejection. That man does not last. She does not hate him. She simply cannot desire him. The other man understands she has a life, that he has a life, that he does not need to analyze every microsignal, that he is centered, that he knows who he is. That man attracts. Why? Because she perceives him as a pillar. And a pillar is necessary. A teddy bear is not. Schopenhauer said that a man is either will or slavery. A man without firmness becomes a slave to his emotions, to his fear of abandonment, to his insecurity, to his need for approval. And a woman can sense that from miles away. Another example, she gives you a small test. She does not talk the same as before. She replies slower. She pulls back a little. Do you know what she is doing? She is evaluating your center, not consciously, instinctively. The weak man panics, complains, asks what is wrong, and kneels emotionally. The firm man observes, breathes, stays unbroken, and continues his life. And that reaction defines everything. The first one loses. The second one connects with what truly awakens female desire. A stable masculinity, a solid identity, a strong will. That is what they want, even though they will never say it. The silent leader. Not the bad boy, but the man with will. Many men think women want the bad guy. No, that is another myth. What they really want is the man who leads without noise, who makes decisions, who knows where he is going, who is not lost, who does not reinvent his identity every day. That man is not bad, that man is coherent. And coherence attracts more than beauty, more than money, more than sweet words. Schopenhauer spoke of the superior will, the ability of a man to govern himself. That is the true form of leadership. Clear example, a man who makes decisions without fear, who sets boundaries, who says yes to this and no to that, who is not manipulated by desire, by social pressure, or by the need to be accepted. That man is a magnet. Another example, a man who apologizes for existing, who asks for permission to have an opinion, who negotiates his value, that man loses before he even begins. Silent leadership shows in simple gestures, how you walk, how you speak, how you say no, how you handle conflict without losing yourself, how you keep your calm when everyone else is falling apart, how you place your mission above your emotions. A woman does not want to dominate you, not because she is bad, but because when she dominates, she loses respect. The man who follows his path without needing to crush anyone, without needing to shout, without needing to prove he is superior, that man activates the deepest part of female desire, the attraction to masculine stability. That is why Schopenhauer said, women look for the strength of character, not the body, not the physical aggression, not the arrogance. The strength of character, the firm will. That is the man they remember, desire, and choose. And here comes the point most men do not want to accept. You are never going to fully understand women, and you do not need to. What you do need to understand is what kind of man their nature demands. Not modern nature, not social media, not feminist speeches. Real human nature, the same nature Schopenhauer saw 2 centuries ago, which still works exactly the same today. A woman desires the man who can stand on his own, the man who respects himself, the man who does not sell himself cheap, the man who has a mission, the man who stays calm under pressure, the man who does not collapse emotionally, the man who does not compete with other men for crumbs, the man who never negotiates his value, the man who does not hide behind excuses. Do you want real examples? Here are 3. Example 1. The man with no direction. She likes him, but he has no path. He talks, dreams, promises, but never acts. That lack of will kills her desire, no matter how much he loves her. Example 2. The needy man. She admires him until he starts revolving his entire life around her. He stops being a man and becomes a shadow. She can no longer feel attraction. Example 3. The centered man. She feels something different when she is next to him. It is calm, it is firmness, it is presence. It is that sensation she cannot explain, but it connects her to her deepest instinct. That man does not talk too much, he does not promise too much, he does not beg, he does not ask, he does not fear losing her, he does not let momentary emotions drag him. And precisely because of that, she chooses him. Now comes the final truth. You are not rejected because you are not enough. You are rejected because you abandoned your center. When you return to it, when you rebuild yourself, when you govern yourself, when you become a man who does not need to be seen to have value, women stop being a problem and start becoming a mirror. Schopenhauer was not teaching you how to understand women. He was teaching you how to understand yourself, so female nature can do what it has always done: respect and desire the man with superior will. And if you want me to tell you more uncomfortable truths like this, you already know what to do. In the end, everything comes down to this. Stop chasing myths and start looking at reality directly. Women are not enigmas. You are the one who needs to stop living asleep. When you understand what they really want, everything changes. Your energy, your presence, your entire life. So do not just watch this video, apply it, because the man who acts is the man who wins. See you in the next one.